Good evening, everybody. Great to be back with you here for Coffeehouse Folk with yours truly, Nick Carter, and my good friend Brian Theoret. We are delighted to be back with you. It's been a little bit of time, and we have a wonderful show for you tonight, some stories and great music. We're delighted to have Carole Wise, all the way from Brunswick, Maine, Mid-Coast, Maine, who's going to be bringing her great portfolio of songs for us tonight. Carole is a terrific songwriter and very fine singer. You're going to find out in just a few minutes how true all that is. Brian, it's good to see you. Did I just see you take a sip from a certain coffee cup?
I think I was.
That's great.
Boy, I don't know how to work the...
No, it's visible.
Folk mug.
Looks great. It looks great. Well, we're delighted to have everybody here with us. Thanks for joining in. We hope the crowd will grow as the evening goes on. We'll do a few songs per person, and Brian will kick us off with three songs, and then Carole, and then I'll back clean up for this round, and then we'll go around again. So, Brian, over to you, my friend. Good to hear you. Good to see you.
All right, good to see you too, Nick, and very excited to hear you play, Carole, as well. These are always so much fun. It's nice to hear these, the stories behind these songs, where they came from, how they were written. This one, and I'm always talking about this retreat, and people probably get sick of me talking about it, but the New England Songwriters Retreat has a big place in my heart. And this tune came from one of the final conversations Ellis Paul had with us at one of the relatively recent retreats, where he basically said, you only have so many heartbeats, and you want to use them he said use them on the shit you love, but I made it a little bit more PG-13. Honestly, it's more PG, but anyways, this is all about using those heartbeats where they should be used. This one's called Heartbeats. So take 3 breaths, enough to break the panic. The barricade down, I've had it with the static. The bridge once across, set free into the wonder. A wise friend spoke, these words circled in my ear. You only have so many heartbeats, use them on the ones you love. You only have so many heartbeats, use them on the ones you love. So drawn right in by the supernatural beauty, clay in my hands, formed by fingers gently, and flames of fear licking bark on a tree. It's you and me, dear, trying to let this wind blow free. You only have so many heartbeats, use them on the ones you love. You only have so many heartbeats, use them on the ones you love. blink 3 times, enough to make 'em water. It's down the hill, and in the light we ponder. My trunk is full, dusty in the attic, with watering eyes. These words circle in my ear. You only have so many heartbeats. Use them on the ones you love. You only have so many heartbeats. Use them on the ones you love. Only have so many heartbeats. Use them on the ones you love. You only have so many heartbeats. Use them on the ones you love. Thanks, everybody.
Love that.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Love that.
Thank you.
Love that tuning on that. Fits those words. Very, very sweet.
And I had come up with that. The capo was down, but using the roll of dice, I was like, first chord, blep, second chord, blep, and that just happened to work.
Yeah.
And I've done that a couple of times actually. That the thing with the dice, but unfortunately not playing the other tune that I did that with this time. Maybe next time. But I like doing fun things like that. You know, switching it up. Going less conventional with, you know, chord choices sometimes, just using luck to determine where to go. This next tune is called "It's Time." Basically, the main, like the character in the song starts off looking at this mirror, and in the mirror, they see their reflection in what they look like in terms of that reflection is like what they will look like once they're past this, once they've made this decision or you know, gotten past. They're kind of, you know, looking into the future. That's what I'm going to look like. And you'll see this, the second line directly referencing that. This one's called "It's Time." Taking a chance, putting myself in front of the mirror. My reflection shows me on the other side. Mistakes that I made are taking the best of the situation. There's no going back without my pride. And then I think again, it's time. Don't wait till it's when you're back here again. It's not a lack of inspiration. Words are flowing like a river bend. The clock on the wall, I knew it would stall with a chance she would take it. Tired of watching seconds tick away. And then I think again, it's time, it's time, it's time. She's taking it to the place where it all started before. And he's chasing down spirits on this dusty old porch. It's time, it's time.
Nice.
Nice movement on the chords. I love that low
Nice.
line, the low bass line climbing up.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Very nice work.
I think that was the, I had just sort of, a few years ago, 5 years ago, I sort of stumbled on Dadgad. And I think that was one of the second chord progressions that I just sort of fumbled upon and figured out that little, stairway up. But this next one I actually wrote when I was serving some jury duty. This one doesn't really need any introduction. It's just called Juror Number 3. Another name called now. You know it's not the first. Spirit, it's at home now, with the body in the hearse. Flown away all too soon for a parent's new wife. Kneel and say your prayer now and plead all your goodbyes. Jurors as they gathered, all the evidence was heard. An accident did happen, but it's more than what occurred. The driver, if convicted, hands up to his face. His actions consequences, in his mouth as if to taste. Gavel cracked wood to wood on the tabletop, and there he stood with all he could as the gavel drawn. Juror number 3, he stood, the gavel on his mind. The weight cracked the tabletop, adjourned, he closed his eyes. The man will spend his every breath and leave behind it all the lives he crushed will never hear the laughter down the hall. The laughter down the hall. The laughter down the hall. Gavel cracked wood to wood on the tabletop, and there he stood with all he could as the gavel dropped. One more drink, I'm sure he said, we'll finish off the night. Whiskey on the rocks, he said, will do me just right. I'm just around the corner, 2 exits and a left. I close my eyes, I never saw, I never saw, I never saw, I never saw her. Gavel cracked wood to wood on the tabletop, and there he stood with all he could as the gavel dropped. Gavel cracked wood to wood on the tabletop, and there he stood with all he could as the gavel dropped.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Thank
Number
you.
3, jury number 3.
Nice work.
Thank you very much.
I love the low tuning and the roll down of gavel down on the tabletop.
Yeah, gavel
6/8,
cracked.
kind of a
Gavel cracked,
rhythm in
wood to
3. I love
wood.
it. Yep.
Yeah, gavel cracked wood to wood on the tabletop. Yeah,
And you wrote that in the courthouse, huh?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never called my name, and that's actually where that first line came from. Mm-hmm. Kind of playing around with it, it ended up being like another name called now, like another life taken, another name called now, that sort of a thing. Mm-hmm. Spirit's at home now. Yeah.
Well, I love it. I love the descending tones on the low string, and frankly, I love the setting in 6/8. I think was that in 3.
Yeah, 6/8. Yeah.
Something like that. Well, Brian, thank you. Wonderful kickoff. Fabulous
Thank you.
kickoff. I'm just going to step out of the middle here and turn it over to Carole Wise. Folks, I know you're going to have a great listening session here with Carole taking over. Carole, over to you.
All right, thanks so much. Well, welcome everybody. I am in Brunswick, Maine, and I acknowledge it's Wabanaki territory. And I'm going to start this off with a song, which is the title cut of my newest release, The Long Way Home. And the title cut is Long Way Home. And just a little bit of backstory. In the quilt behind me, I asked a friend of mine who I'd known in college, and we have connected through Facebook. And she's gotten into quilting. And so instead of getting artwork, I asked her if she wouldn't mind to take that project on. And so you can't see it because the light is behind it, but it is a mountain back there with a full moon, some stars, and then there's this path. And it can either be water or it could be a path in the mountain, however we like to travel. And so this long way home for me started way before, had an intention before I knew I was gonna write, do this album. And so it's about memories, and it's about time, and just how we embrace and hold on. So hope you enjoy. Memories take me back to a long time ago, when we sang, when we laughed, sometimes shared our woes. Time to go home, but I can't let go. I take the long way home. Time stands still, and I'm right there. I'm watching over you. I still care. Sun sets low, and I won't let go. I take the long way home. I keep the music in my heart. You will always be a part of me. More dreams to dream, tomorrow's yet to be. Looking deep within, claiming what you see. Though many years gone by, don't waste your time. Don't ask why, just take the long way home. Don't be afraid to take a look. Your journey is an open book. Take the long way home. Thank you.
Very
Long
nice,
way
very nice.
home. Haven't we all? A few times.
Beautiful.
Haven't
Karen,
we all?
definitely.
That's just great.
So interesting with this song was that why I said it had an intention is I had met old school buddies. I graduated in '76, and in early 2000, we were just happened to be in the same place, same time, and it was so great to see each other. We sang together in a group, in a trio, and they came to hear me where I was playing, and just that sense of all of us being together. The words just kind of started pouring out. Memories take me back. I mean, I think that's how it started, and so that got tucked away for a long time. And then when this CD came out, that was all related to my mom passing, taking care of my mom, my aunt, and they passed 3 months from each other. And all those songs for all those years came flowing out. And the long way home, when I was going through some things, I found it, and I went, "Oh man, that's the title of this CD with all of this music." So anyway, it brings back such sweet, sweet memories. So this next tune brings me back to. I am going to take just a moment to tune. I've likened tuning to how we are in life. It's important to take time, to slow down, to tune, and not feel bad about it. We rush, and then we start playing, and then there's that one string that's always out, and it just, it kills you while you're playing. But it's kind of apropos to how we do life, and so tuning has helped me to slow down on many levels, to say it's okay to take time to tune. And it's a song in itself. So this next piece, I think we all kind of felt really some bad vibes about COVID and lockdown, and then I think in the reflection of it for me, as all these tunes are starting to roll out, was it took time. It allowed us time to reflect. And this song for me, this next one, is called "View from Our Windows," and it was about how we all were looking at what was happening during 2020 and 2021, and a lot was happening. So healthcare professionals, and we were making hearts and putting them in our windows. And we were looking through the TV at folks through their windows, and it was just all this vision stuff going on. And I said, boy, there's a song there. And always trying to find that silver lining about when things are hard, we're going to be okay, and we're going to figure it out. And so this was during Black Lives Matter. There was so many things going on. So this all came together through my window, looking out and wondering, how am I going to contribute in a positive way? View from my window, I can touch the sky. View from the window, you and I. View from the window, no longer need to bid farewell. View from the window, all hate dispelled. View from the garden, where we till soul and dirt, where we can weed away all labels that harm and hurt. View from the garden, planted seed and watered well. View from the window, all hate dispelled. Joining in our hearts together as one. Collaboration as we learn to grow and stand together as one. Inspiration. La, 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 la. view from the window. We are one of many, dispelling hate and harm and growing love. Yes, growing love. Joining in our hearts together as one. Collaboration as we learn to stand together as one. Inspiration. View from the window. View from the garden. Dispelling hate and harm. And growing love. Yes, growing love. Growing love. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very nice. Beautiful song, Carole.
Thank you so much.
I told you I was driving last Saturday up from Baltimore to Connecticut and all, and long way home got me through a really miserable traffic jam at the Delaware Memorial Bridge. I just want you to know that.
I love it.
And I truly, I really enjoy your album. I've
And,
listened to it many times.
Thank you so much. And how far were you away? What was that long way home? How far were you?
Well, Ted, okay, to measure that, let's see, probably, my guess would have been then it was a solid 2.5 to 3 hours from Connecticut still. Or maybe 4, counting the traffic. It could have been shorter, but the Delaware Memorial Bridge can be a piece of work, as we all might know. For sure.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyway,
All right.
we're ready to hear more, Carole.
All right. Well, this next one, next one is called New Frontier, and I was listening to all the talk on TV, radio, people about what's going to be the new norm, and I've never liked what the other norm was. I'm not into that whole thing. I'm into like being present and what's happening. That's where we're at. So I went out for a walk. This is the year that I retired in June of 2020, and I looked out. I was in Rangeley, Maine, which is a beautiful place, lots of lakes, lots of mountain hikes and kayaking, and I went on my walk, and I looked up, and there was a hawk, and I'm thinking, I just retired. I get to play music and go kayaking and hiking, and then the storm clouds, of course, were up in the mountains, and things started to gather. And again, I go, well, there's a song there, I said, as I looked at those clouds starting to formulate. And it made me think about what was next, what was new. And so I decided that New Frontier was going to be the name of this tune. So I hope you enjoy this one. Fly like a bird and gather like clouds without any words. Sing blissfully loud to soar high above regardless of fear, and live an unheard of love in a brand new frontier. A bird's eye view, a second chance, big sky blue, a limitless dance. Here comes the midnight sun, beckoning twilight's flight, the harvest autumnal moon, two hearts filled with delight, welcoming solitude, arising still, you and me, we whisper our soulful dreams deeply and truthfully in this brand new frontier. A bird's eye view, a second chance, big sky blue, a limitless dance. Here comes the midnight sun. Soar high above, regardless of fear, and live an unheard of love in a brand new frontier. Live an unheard of love in a brand new frontier. Thank you. Thank you so
Very
much.
nice.
Wonderful
Thank
notion.
you.
Unheard of love, brand new frontier. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely. And listen, I want to give a shout out to Carly, if you're listening tonight. You know, school sometimes, especially after being in lockdown, and we've just had to do school so different. It's going to feel a little bit different coming back with everybody, and but we step up to the plate and knowing that everybody feels the same way. There isn't anyone going in there feeling like we got this. There's a little being unsure, and that's okay. The biggest thing is that we help each other out. So our new frontier for school is stepping up, helping each other, and make a positive contribution, play a lot of music, and that is the common language, right? So welcome back to the school season, everybody.
Hear, hear. How beautifully said. So Carly, Jack, and Michelle, if you're listening in, Carole, thank you. First of all, that's just gorgeous. We can't wait to hear more from you in just a few minutes. I guess I'm going to back clean up here for our first round. Carly, Jack, and Michelle, if you're listening, I hope everything is going well up in Union. And Carly, listen carefully to what Carole just said, because that's very wise words. You're going to have a great year. So this song goes back to the mid-90s, or at least it goes back to a time in my life when it was the mid-90s. And I used to commute downtown to Lower Manhattan for the job that I had then. And this song is I guess a nod, a very appreciative nod to subway singers. And there used to be a wonderful subway singer, and I used to stop for a while and listen to her before I'd get on my downtown train. Her name was and is Wendy. I haven't seen Wendy in a very long time, but this is a way of saying thank you. So I followed her voice underground Through the tunnels and the noise, I tracked her down. Yes, I did. And she was singing by the turnstiles to a city on the run, and passing out pieces of her heart in every song. She said, way down here, some things never change. Talking about music and the rumble of the train. Oh, oh. Well, she's there each day when I come rushing by. She says, I'll trade you a story for your time. The world's an endless procession, and she serenades the ebb and flow. She might wish we'd all pay attention, but she never lets it show. She just says, y'all come back, 'cause good things never change. Talking about music and the rumble of the train. What's reliable and real? It's the way the music makes you feel, and the rhythm of the ride that takes you home. Take me home. Now if I just stop and listen to her songs, the music stays with me all day long. But I gotta go, so I drop the 10, gotta leave again. Keep my day on track. Oh, without a word she smiles. We both know I'll be back, 'cause way down here something never changed. Talking about music and the rumble of the train. Telling you way down here something never changed. Talking about music and the rumble. Talking about music and the rumble. Talking about music and the rumble of the train. Oh. Rumble of the train. Thank you.
All right.
Bravo, bravo.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that. So, I guess it was about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I was walking on the shores. I'm on just south of Burlington, and on the shore of Lake Champlain. I was walking, and it was a very warm. It was about this time of year, and a very strong wind out of the south, coming right straight up the lake. It was a warm breeze, humid breeze, hot, humid August day. And it reminded me of a time ago, on another lake up in Maine, very special moment, called Wind Out of the South, Wind from the South. And some dates don't last very long. This one went on for a while. We're still dating. Her name is Sue. And you guys saw her tonight for a minute. Anyway, sorry, Sue, if you're listening, don't mean to embarrass you. But anyway, this song is called Wind from the South. We were barefoot on a blanket, and I wanted to chase away the doubt. At the water's edge, you leaned into me. I still can taste the chocolate on your mouth. Wind soft and warm as a whisper and the radio singing us to sleep. And there's you and the stars and nighttime guitars, reeling all the years back in reach. Just below the surface, we feel our way along, and eye to eye, to right to be wrong. It's a sweet summer fire no water can put out, burning brighter with the wind from the south. How we loved when no one was looking, guilty of the sweetest kind of crime. Those stolen scenes, and you'd reach for me, and I played the thief every time. Just below the surface, we feel our way along, and eye to eye, to right to be wrong. It's a sweet summer fire no water can put out, burning brighter with the wind from the south. I keep a picture from the day we got married, and we're grinning like we found the inside track. And the clothes look dated, but the moment never faded, and we're sure not looking back. Just below the surface, we feel our way along, and eye to right to be wrong. And it's a sweet summer fire no water can put out, burning brighter with a wind from the south. Sweet fire no water can put out, burning brighter with a wind from the south. Sweet fire no water can put out, and it's burning brighter with the wind from the south. Ooh.
Nice.
Thank you.
Tune there.
Thank you very much. There was a time, speaking of a story, I grew up in northern Maine, Caribou, Maine, actually, and not very far from where our mutual friend Ellis Paul grew up, Brian. And Carol, you may know Ellis Paul as well, but in any case, he's from Presque Isle, Maine, and a few years ago we discovered, to our mutual mystery and delight, how in the world we would meet down in Asheville, North Carolina, two boys from Aroostook County, Maine. In any event, while I grew up and worked in northern Maine for a while, music became a stranger to me. I jumped at performing all through school, did lots of things musically in school, loved performing, but work life came in just after college, and the guitar became a stranger. And this song is about how that happened, how that unfolded, and how I found my way back. My Guitar is My Compass is the name of this one. Winter '78, I finally quit the band for a job back home with family. Just did not see the trouble coming down soon as my guitar became a stranger to me. Fresh out of school, steady paycheck in hand, my pockets full of cash. Had an office in the field, helping farmers work the land. Had 3 good years before the crash. Then the market broke the farms, and the banks came calling for the keys. I closed up shop, and I watched the bridges burn. My hometown wasn't home to me. The right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road. And my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. Went to work on Wall Street, found no peace of mind. Started playing downtown bars, finally slipped away. Left the suits behind and traded stocks for tips in a jar. And the right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road. And my songs will be the stars I'm guided by. Oh. On a corner, you find me now in Soho, playing like I'm paying off a debt. My guitar case catching quarters for a solo, but it's better than a promise never kept. Oh, it's better than a promise never kept. The right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road. Oh, yes, I will. And the right road don't always lead you home, and the wrong ones are paved with alibis. But if my guitar is my compass when I go, I'll find my road. And my song will be the stars I'm guided by. Yes, my song will be the stars I'm guided by. Oh, come my friend, help me find my road. And now, won't you guide me home and be my compass when I go? Take it out.
Yeah. Love that. Love
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. A little autobiographical stuff there for you.
Hey.
I love that line, traded stocks for tips in a jar.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting. It was, that's the last corporate job I ever had, and paradoxically, it was actually the most fun. But it wasn't, it didn't have all the things in it that were needed to, you know, keep the music alive. Ultimately, the evolution carried on to going back to school to become a music teacher and so on. So there you go.
Fantastic.
But so I'm delighted to play batting cleanup for our first round, and we're about to start the next round with some more great stuff from Brian, and then with Carole again, and then I'll be back to wrap it up. So over to you, Brian.
All right. Lovely set, both of you, Nick and Carole. I love hearing all these stories behind these tunes. This one doesn't have a major story. I just wanted to write a story song, a fictional tune And this one is basically, it was prompted by my love of peanut butter whiskey that I had just discovered at the time. So I decided to write a song about it. It's a peanut butter whiskey drinking cutthroat poker player. This one's called Peanut Butter Whiskey. All right. He was a straight-cut, narrow-minded shill with a jack up his sleeve. He draws his winds from the sleight of his hand and the lies they believe. He could spot a flush from the faintest little blush, or a quiver on a lip in a breeze. His hair was greased back, held tight, his temples beating red. When the cards hit the table, intuition like a blade on the edge. He had a fondness for the draw, down the river through a straw. He drank peanut butter whiskey with a frown. He stung like the whiskey with each hand he'd bring. He had no conscience at the table. He took everything. He took everything. He took everything. Yeah, yeah. Shanty was a pub down the hill from his two-room flat. He ran there 14 years, counting cards with his cousin Rat. And Rat got his name when he snitched on his lackey Shane, who was caught selling coke to Father Black. He stung like the whiskey with each hand he'd bring. He had no conscience at the table. He took everything. And he stung like the whiskey with each hand he'd bring. He had no conscience at the table. He took everything. He took everything. He took everything. Yeah, yeah. With a sting of an ace on his lips, he swore he'd get back in the ring. But when he took his whiskey for a sip, his heart said, son, I ain't got no more time for this. And he stung like the whiskey with each hand he'd bring. He had no conscience at the table. He took everything. And he stung like the whiskey with each hand he'd bring. He had no conscience at the table. He took everything. It took everything. It took everything. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Woo. Nice. Love
Thank
it.
you very much.
Yeah.
Brian, I have a question. What's the
Yeah.
first line of that song again?
Oh, he was a straight-cut, narrow-minded shill with a jack up his sleeve.
Yeah, baby, that is just a great line. Straight cut,
Narrow-minded
minded shill.
shill with a jack up his sleeve.
You know, that's just that's just great. Love it.
I wanted to really like drive it home with that.
Oh yeah, straight cut,
Set
minded
the-
shill.
Set the stage.
Love your choice of syllables there, and the hard ending, the straight cut. Just very cool. You know it. You wrote it. You don't need to hear it from me. But I just wanted to hear it again, man.
Nice. I never thought of that actually. All the
Oh no, very cool. Straight.
Huh.
Cut. I mean, what an attitude. And it fits the song. I mean, again, forgive me. You don't need to hear me telling you about a song you birthed.
No.
But I mean, it's still very cool.
No, boost my ego all you want. That's okay.
Yeah, and I love the strum, man. I love the rhythm. I love that
you
nice
go.
hard pounding stuff that I like. I like to play like that as well. So
Here.
I get that. That is very
Here,
sweet.
here.
Yeah, I'm a real
Yeah, percussionist at heart.
yeah. So all of these tunes I've played so far, except this next one, are going to be on my upcoming album, which is slated to be coming out in November, called Early Morning Firefly. This next tune is one from my debut album, which came out in 2015. This one's called Speck of Light. It's kind of from the perspective of you're kind of stuck in your own head, or like the person in the song is stuck in their own head, and they can't seem to, get out of their head, and all they have is a broom to dust up the old stuff that's just all in their head, and all they have is a dustpan and a broom. Until they see this speck of light that kind of gives them hope. Waiting, laying, pacing my time in limbo. No door out of this room, just waiting here, facing fear with no window. As I justify my time with a broom and sweep up the dust I left behind. No fireplace to warm my fingers and toes. But hope and home will help me out of this doorless room. A speck of light shines through a hole in the roof. I can't see it, feel it, so there's proof. Sign of life shines on a face by the stars. Grin and a smile breaks and warms my soul to begin the chase. No exchange of words to anyone. No window, a book on a shelf, just pondering my day the same before. I wanna seek and find my door. I can justify my time in this room with only a dustpan and a broom. But hope and home will help me out of this doorless room. Speck of light shines through a hole in the roof. I can't see it, feel it, so there's proof. Sign of life shines on a face by the stars. Grin and a smile breaks and warms my soul to begin the chase. Pass on it or flaunt it if I had it. wouldn't let it take over and quit. I wouldn't forget where it came from. I wouldn't forget where I came from. I wouldn't forget where I came from, where I came from, where I came from. But hope and home will help me out of this doorless room. Speck of light shines through a hole in the roof. I can see it, feel it, so there's brew. Sign of life shines on a face by the stars. Grin and a smile breaks and warms my soul to begin the chase. Excuse me. Thank you very much.
Very nice.
If anybody happens to be taking a look at this mug that I got here, we created these Coffeehouse Folk mugs. You can pick up your own if you want to. Brandon, if you could maybe post that link in the comments somewhere. If anybody's interested, go ahead and pick up one of those. They're fun, you know, just a little something that, you know, we wanted to do for this fun thing that, sorry, just doing a little tuning here. This fun thing that really was, you know, Nick's idea. I always have to, you know, I always feel the need to thank him for, you know, pulling me into this and, you know, asking if I wanted to be part of it. And it's just been a lot of fun. And I have really enjoyed listening to your music, Carole, and always love listening to your music too, Nick. This last tune that I'm going to do tonight is the title track to my upcoming album, Early Morning Firefly. Like an early morning firefly and late night bird, shadows spin in circles, the clock strikes 10. I'm dreaming, it goes on, it goes on, it goes on in my head. Feel the awkward silence, the vicious cycle ends. Lips rumbling inside, push it out instead. Beneath an umbrella beginning to change, sweet rain beginning to change. Like an early morning firefly and late night bird. Beyond my lacking confidence, I wanna be heard. Head rushes to the end, light bulb glows dim. Should I start from the end or begin again? I'm taking control of this, making me breathe, making me dream again. Like an early morning by flying late at night bird. Beyond my lacking confidence, I wanna be heard. Sorting out my reverence in a dogwood I purr. Like an early morning firefly and late night bird. I'm standing here, you waiting there now. Decision made, waiting games done. Screams now whisper your ear. Can hear all it wants to. Oh, I'm standing here, you waiting there now. Decision made, waiting games done. Screams now whisper your ear. Can hear all it wants to. Oh, I'm standing here, you waiting there now. Decision made, waiting games done. Screams now whisper your ear. Can hear all it wants to. Oh, I'm standing here waiting there now. Decision made, waiting games done. Screams now whisper your ear. Can hear all it wants to. Thanks, everybody.
Nice.
Really appreciate it.
Love the energy,
Thank
Brian.
you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
Yeah, very powerful stuff. This is what it's all about, hanging out like this on a Wednesday night to take the wrinkles out of the week, right? It just
Take that.
get this done. Before we move on, just a quick thank you to Brandon O'Sullivan, too, who's kind of making all of this sound come out for us and
Yay, Brandon.
helping it all work out. And both the audio and the video feeds are
Absolutely.
thanks to Brandon.
He makes us look good.
Indeed.
He does make us look good.
Absolutely. And I'm going to pause now and turn the next portion of the evening over to Carole Wise. Carole, we'd love to hear some more from you. We'd love to hear some more songs.
All right. All right. Yeah, sweet, sweet, sweet. This has just been a wonderful, wonderful evening, gentlemen. And Wednesday, what a great night to do that, for sure. To kind of it makes I used to tell my kids at school, pretend schools. I used to do a 4-day week school, but in the places where they were 5-day, I said pretend this is a 4-day week, and that Fridays are let's just clean up what the week was like. And so kind of, I like this idea of on a Wednesday night. This is a sweet piece because now it's just 2 more days of school. And so always something to look good for. So this song is called Around the Bend, and it'll actually be on the next CD coming out, which will be called Landscapes and Seasons. And I've been writing some pieces about all of my travels, where I've lived and where I've taught, from the Hopi and Navajo Reservation to Vermont, to Maine, Colorado. Really love the Southwest, but just the difference of landscapes just really spoke to me. And so I've been doing a lot of reflection about that time and starting to put those feelings down on paper. So I'm looking forward to that. So this is one of those tunes, and it's called Around the Bend. And Around the Bend for me here in Maine is about being in my kayak in the spring and with that new fresh water and making a run and learning those lessons from the river. But Around the Bend could be anywhere where you live. So it goes a little bit like this. I am like a river flowing fast and free. Around the bend I slow awaiting change in me, fearing not what's up ahead, to ride the wave and flow instead, fearing the unknown. Once I thought the river had abandoned me, until I learned to navigate, which set me free. Embracing every twist and turn to recognize what's lost and learn. I know I'm not alone. We know storms will form ahead and the wind will rise. Brighter days will clear away the darkest skies. Remember what has come before. We sail for new uncharted shores, claiming our identity, fearing not what's up ahead, to ride the wave and flow instead of fearing the unknown. Around the bend I slow, awaiting change in me. Thank you. And I'm really excited because I've been playing my mandolin a lot this past year, and I'm up to about 35 songs of covers that I've enjoyed playing through the years, and now when I'm playing with other friends who are also guitarists, I can pull out the mandolin and play. So I was going to do that tonight, but I was sharing earlier in the green room that I just had a new pickup put into the mandolin, so I really haven't played with tones yet, and I think I'm going to have to get a little mixer to help because the mandolin, it can get a little voicey. So. But I can hear. I know what I'm playing on this when that comes around. So anyway.
Nice, beautiful song. Thank you.
So this next one is a little bluesy, and when I originally wrote it, it was with a conga, a bass, and a guitar. And I've recently been playing with a good friend of mine who's also on the CD, April Reed Cox, and she's an incredible cellist and other instruments, vocalist. When we play this, the whole song just has a whole nother voice. And so I may end up maybe going to the studio and do a remix on this one and just release it as a single with the cello because it's very sweet. So it's called We Bring Gifts. We bring gifts to this love, mutual affection. Respectful contemplation, we walk the same direction. One day at a time, one day at a time. We take time for this love to listen to each other. Taking time to be friends, but so much more as lovers. One day at a time, one day at a time. We give back all the love and the strength that brought us to this place. We bring gifts of the heart for love to embrace. We give back all the love and the strength that brought us to this place. We bring gifts of the heart for love to embrace. We bring gifts to this love. We take time for this love. We give back to this love.
Great tune.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very nice. Very moody. I love it.
Thank you so much. All right, well, I'm going to wrap it up with this last song called, well, I'm going to tell you a little backstory and how the title came to be. And we will have to tune on this one. Every time you bring tunings in. And the humidity. So I played last night. It was 86 degrees and probably 90% humidity. And the strings on both the cello and the guitar were just so slack you'd think you were playing a Strat. And I remember just looking over and I'm thinking, boy, we need a little shade and we need some fans. And all of a sudden, a breeze appeared. And I know that, friends were sending well wishes and sending coolness. And so it showed up just in time. But I wrote the song looking out again through my window and watching the trees, watching the ladybug climb up the sill. And I just said, I had this great feeling again when I know I'm supposed to be writing songs and paying attention to messages. And I looked at that ladybug and I said, "What's going on in your world?" And she said, "Listen in." And that's kind of how this song all came about. So for me, it's kind of the purpose a little bit is taking care of the planet, listening to each other, listening to the planet, so that we keep these beautiful gifts that have been gifted to us. Breathing in, breathing out, all across the land. will we vow to help her out? Do the very best we can. And I see trees dancing in the wind, inviting all of us again to listen in. Ladybug upon the sill, climbing higher, higher still. She looks outside her window pane. How much of her world remains? And she sees trees swaying in the wind, inviting all of us again to listen in. Running all around, will it help the world slow down? I think not. Will we find a gentler way? And when we finally find authentic peace of mind, I think, yes, perhaps we'll understand while we learn to listen in. And everywhere I look, I connect with you. No matter where, what, or why, I can see angels fly. Yes, I see trees dancing in the wind, inviting all of us again to listen in. It's when we finally find authentic peace of mind, I think, yes, we understand, we have learned to listen in.
Love the message of that one. That's a great tune.
Yes.
Thank you
Listen
so
in.
much.
How true. Listen in.
Thank you so much.
Very powerful. Very powerful. Thank you, Carole.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you for joining us, Carole. Great to
Oh,
be.
what a blast, you guys. Thank you so much. Really, really made my week, and we're not even at the end yet, but really sweet. And I, I hope we really stay connected, and maybe we'll find time to actually get together.
I would enjoy that. Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely true. Yeah, this is COVID and the need to be separated safely is something we have to respect. But boy, it'll be feel good. It will feel so good.
Absolutely.
We're face to face
Absolutely.
with masks and all that stuff. So,
Yeah,
absolutely.
really enjoyed hearing all those stories, Carole. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, you know what? What's been interesting is that because of of what's happened to happen is I said, you know what, you work on an album for a long time, and then you put it out, and then usually we have venues to go to, and I'm counting that I've had many venues, but really not, and I'm thinking, wow. So I when you said something about saying something over and over again earlier, Brian, I'm like, exactly. It's like I'm thinking, people going, I've already heard that song, and I'm thinking, I haven't played it many times. I've been in the studio longer with that song than I have with an audience to really have some, that energy vibe. Right. So I'm grateful for all the folks that are tuning in and getting that and still supporting the music and supporting all of us. So thank you so much, everyone who's watching and who continue just to, to support the people and the music you love.
Absolutely.
And this is a great venue you guys are doing, so thank you so much for that.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and we're gonna need your address when the evening's over, because we're gonna send you a mug.
Oh,
right.
You took the words right out of my mouth when you were doing that. I was gonna say, when he gives me a minute, I'm gonna say I want one of those mugs. So, oh my God. So we're channeling.
Brian
we're
designed
channeling.
the thing. He designed
All right.
it.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. This is a real treat to have you with us, Carole, and Brian and I have been having a lot of fun doing this, so hopefully this is going to be just one other good evening we can remember, and we'll come back and do it again.
Absolutely.
In the near future, have Carole Wise back with us again, which will be a real treat. We've all referred to what COVID did to us, the isolation, and this song, that's a hazard of playing in drop D. You do this and you think you got it right, and it's all of a sudden very strange because you're capoed on one fret and you did drop D, and now you've created a tangle. The chord begins like that. The song is called Handrail in the Dark, and it's a song about rescue and recovery. And I remember bringing it onto paper during COVID, and it's about reaching out with the intention of looking after those who you've seen suffer a bit. And sadly, I think it still has meaning for me today, and hopefully one of these days it'll be a song to remember from a time that has passed. Handrail in the Dark. Just tell me you're okay. I think I know what happened here. The roof is caved in on your life, and your heart got caught in there, and you're on shaky ground before the roof comes crashing down. Let me help you past the broken glass, safe and sound. And when worry blinds your heart and faith falls apart and the night hits too hard, I'll be your handrail in the dark and take you where you've never been. Make a brand new start, never be afraid again. In the dark, just reach across the space between us, and I'll be there, your handrail in the dark. We'll build promises into living things and put up a home of stone and stories we believe. And we'll meet in the middle, and we'll get rid of the riddles and leave breathing room for when we disagree. And when worry blinds your heart and faith falls apart and the night hits too hard, I'll be your handrail in the dark and take you where you've never been. Make a brand new start, never be afraid again. In the dark, just reach across the space between us, and I'll be there, your handrail in the dark. You say you'll never be the same, but love still knows your name, and I'll take you where you've never been. Make a brand new start, never be afraid again. In the dark, just reach across the space between us, and I'll be there, your handrail in the dark. Take you where you've never been. Make a brand new start, never be afraid again. In the dark, just reach across the space between us, and I'll be there, your handrail in the dark. Oh yes, I will be your handrail in the dark. Oh yes, I will be your handrail in the dark.
Oh, I love how that
Love it.
ends major.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got something going on there, that's for sure. But it's you know, it's one of those. And I remember sitting there fiddling around with that song. And the revisions that we did, that I did, and the risk of using capos in a relatively small and humid room. Here we go. Okay, good. This song, we all have friends who, when we see them coming, we're so glad to see them. And this song was written kind of thinking about a friend that my wife and I knew the year we lived in California, and she's just a very gregarious, very outgoing, hospitable person. And she just one of those people you were always so glad to see coming. And she was very much the life of the party and all. But she also liked bourbon, and she'd give me she had this very special stash of bourbon, and periodically I'd get a taste of it, you know, and it would be great fun. But the bottom line is, it's just a story about someone whose company you really enjoy and who's come to dance, and she's just come to have a good time with her friends. Called Old Fashioned Girl. Here we go. The music coaxed her off the street. She's always got a dance floor beneath her feet. And she might take you by the hand, but only 'cause she loves the band. You might want her lipstick closed, but she 2 steps back before you know, so just bow when she lifts her glass and puts it down and dances past. She's an old-fashioned girl on the dance floor alone. Her moves are 100 proof, and she drinks in every song like whiskey and bitters with a twist and a sugar smile on Friday night. She dips her finger in, gives that ice a swirl. She's an old-fashioned girl. Well, she slaps her hand down on my stool. It's been so long since I've seen you. Well, here's to another dance. She got me drinking to a second chance. But she's a mystery in amber light. She takes me back to high school nights where I smiled a forgotten kiss, a cup of comfort to our lips. But she's an old-fashioned girl on the dance floor alone. Oh, she's smooth as 100 proof, and she drinks in every song like whiskey and bitters with a twist and a sugar smile on Friday night. She dips a finger in, gives that ice a swirl, and she's an old-fashioned girl. Well, the mix will hit me hard if I'm not careful, and she'll go straight to my head, but I can't let it. She's an old-fashioned girl on the dance floor alone. Oh, she's smooth as 100 proof, and she's drinking in every song like whiskey and bitters with a twist and a sugar smile on Friday night. She dips a finger in, gives that ice a swirl. She's an old-fashioned girl. She's an old-fashioned girl.
Love it.
Very bouncy song in honor of somebody who just came to be in good company, you know. To wrap up, I'd like to share with you the song that is the title track to the album Fountain Pen that will be coming out on September 23rd. It'll be on the digital service provider Streamlines at that time, and then be available on radio and other places as the fall progresses. Fountain Pen is a song that was a challenge, and the challenge was actually taking time to give a voice to an inanimate object and giving it the voice of goodbye, voice of a broken heart. Please don't hate me for what she makes me write. She's been talking to herself all night. Her trembling hand is steady now. Her thoughts are coming clear. But she's leaving you one last souvenir. I am her only fountain pen, the birthday gift you gave her back then. And I can't count the times she's picked me up and put me down, but she's writing rain tonight, the way the ink is pouring out. Her words say you are out of time. They lay across the page like a field of mines, and no way out between the lines. And I can't stop her from writing, it's the end. I am just a fountain pen, like a jet black arrow flying from her hand. I signed your names the day you traded wedding bands. An Italian summer postcard, late night letters back at school. Notes of devotion by two crazy loving fools. But tonight she's asking how it all went wrong. Drawing lines straight to all you could have done. And question marks and margins hanging heavy, so cold. One exclamation point closing in to take its toll. And words say you are out of time. They lay across the page like a field of mines. And no way out between the lines. I can't stop her from writing, it's the end. I am just a fountain pen. Her pains come out of hiding, and she can't fake it anymore. And the ink from my lips draws you a goodbye kiss, and she packs me in her suitcase, pins the letter to the door. Whoa, oh, 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 the word she said, you are out of time. They lay across the page like a field of mines, and no way out between the lines. And I can't stop her from writing, it's the end. I am just a fountain pen, and I can't stop before it's over the end. I am just a fountain pen.
Super.
Thank you.
Super song right there. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Love that.
Thank you. Thank you. What a pleasure. Joy to share the music that we care about writing and we want to share with friends we care about. So there we are, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm looking at the clock and I'm going, whoa, time flies when you're having fun. We blasted past the 9 o'clock hour very nicely here. I haven't noticed it at all. It's like Zoom. So I hope it was as much fun for everybody who watched as it was for me. And Carole, I hope you enjoyed yourself. Brian, always a pleasure to see you.
Absolutely.
Carole, thank you again so much.
Thank you so much, fellas, and thanks for the invite. Be well for the rest of this week.
And you as well. Brandon,
and,
thank
and
you.
beyond. Absolutely.
Yes, and absolutely beyond, indeed. Beyond today and tomorrow. Yeah. And again, many special thanks to Brandon for making this possible and helping the sound go out to everybody so nicely tonight. I don't know that anything else is in order, but to
say goodnight.
Say farewell, I guess, eh? Brian, any other thoughts before we sign off, my friend? Co-host?
Well, just want to say thanks to everybody who watched, and again, thanks Carole, thanks Brandon, thanks Nick. It's always a pleasure. Now from that old-fashioned girl tune, I want to go have an old-fashioned myself. So I think that is happening next.
Well, you know, I never had a taste. I won't make a delay. I mean, I've never had much of a taste for bourbon until our friend said, "You ought to try this stuff," and it was a private stock. Anyway, a sip. It was more than a big deal, but I thought this really is lovely, and so it's kind of an odd a tribute to her and her hospitality way back when. So there it is. All right.
But again, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we will definitely be back. I don't think we have anything specifically on the calendar yet, but stay tuned.
Indeed.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
You bet. You bet.
All right.
Stay well, everybody.
Good night.
Be safe, be well. Good night. Bye-bye.